Welcome back to our Back to School Financial Planning 101 series. We're here today with Stephen Tuckwood, Director of Investments here at Modern Wealth Management. Today we'll be doing a short Q&A with Tuck that helps highlight why investment management is one of our Modern Wealth Advantage offerings. So let's get to it. What is one thing you want people to know about investment planning?
I think the most important thing is really to focus on the long term. Investment thinking can often be very short term in nature, and we often get sucked into the daily news flow and market gyrations. But really focusing on what's important in the long term, having the right asset allocation to meet those long-term financial planning goals is really key to success.
Why is it so critical to be patient when making investment decisions?
The main thing about being patient with investment decision making is really to ensure that you're making a grounded decision and one that's not based off of emotion. So we are by nature emotional creatures. And when emotion enters the investment decision-making process, it can lead to unfavorable outcomes. The old adage of being greedy when others are fearful and vice versa really speaks to that idea of emotions often getting in the way of really good financial decision-making. So that's probably key in that regard.
What do people need to keep in mind when it comes to investment risk?
Yeah, investment risk can really take various forms. And one of the most kind of quoted metrics within our industry is the standard deviation of returns, a bit of a technical term. And, I think there's a better way to look at things. I think it's really about permanent loss of capital when it comes to assessing risk and risk management. So as we think about an allocation or an investment in the stock market, for example, there's daily gyrations up and down. There can be periods of time when things are quite volatile. And if you're able to endure that volatility, you can often come out on the other side at a higher point. But if during that volatility, again, you're adding emotion and you're realizing a loss, you're exiting the market in a down cycle, then that is what we'd consider a permanent loss of capital, where that paper loss does become real and gets locked in. So to me, I think that's a better view of risk from a portfolio management standpoint, is what is the risk of a permanent loss of capital and how can we really avoid that?
Why is it important to have a diversified investment portfolio?
Yeah, diversification in a portfolio is really an acknowledgement that we can't predict the future. And there's always going to be things in a well-diversified portfolio that are doing well, but also things that are doing poorly. So if every line item in your portfolio happens to be doing incredibly well in any period of time, it's a good indicator that you're actually not well diversified. And things can change very quickly in the investment landscape. And being able to forecast and adapt to being in the most favorable asset class all the time, every time they turn is almost impossible. So again, diversification is really this acknowledgement that, hey, we don't actually know what the future holds, but we can build a really nice balanced portfolio that can, at the portfolio level, can really weather any storm that might come on the horizon. So that to me is the real benefit of diversification.
Why should someone consider working with a CFA or any other investment specialist?
Yeah, CFA, the chart holder, the Chartered Financial Analyst designation is just one of those indicators that you're working with an investment professional that's been through a rigorous program. And similarly, if you're working with an accountant and you'd like to think that they have the CPA designation and financial planning, the CFP. So all these different designations really indicate a level of expertise in that particular field. And often that can bring a certain level of service and ability as well. So just like any industry, really important to look for and to find a team of professionals that can help you achieve your goals and deliver what you're looking for.
Tuck, thank you so much for your key considerations surrounding investment management. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the role of investments and your role as a CFA and Director of Investments here at Modern Wealth Management?
Yeah, our view at Modern is that the investments are merely the fuel to the financial plan. It's the thing that powers the engine, but the real engine is the financial plan itself that needs to be dynamic and really tuned into any particular client's or investor's needs and wants. And then we can layer in the portfolio side of things, which is how do we deliver success to that financial plan with the least amount of risk? And that's what we're trying to do from the investment side. And here at Modern, we have a team full of investment professionals that sit side by side with our advisor base. We're an extension of the team, just like our accounting team and financial planning team as well, and really offering that full suite, that full service model to our client base. Thank you for tuning in to this installment of our Back to School Financial Planning 101 series. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find a link in the description to schedule a meeting with our team.